think the things are is to know what you want.
That's right.
And so those are some of the things to your question that you learn from those relationships is
I-
that in your self-reflection, not always point the finger at the other parties because we allow some of that stuff to happen.
Right. So mine is what I've learned is not to go so hard in the beginning. I'm a lover. I love hard.
Can't be white. Day one.
I'm a natural, a nurturer, anyway,
most
to
of them are.
anybody, you know what I'm saying? So when I get into a relationship, it's like, what I've learned at my age, don't go so hard in the beginning.
And what's considered going hard? Let's talk about that and then we'll see if we got some comments out there.
Well, going hard is, being extra.
What's the
you
Me
know.
and wifey and you girlfriend.
Because let me tell you
Right,
something.
being
If I go over there,
wifey.
if I come visit you and you got some clothes,
You finna hang up. You finna hang up the
Wait,
man.
wait.
Oh,
If I
okay.
go over there and them clothes that the next time I come over there. Now the first time I'm not gonna remember that man's stuff because I'm just visiting.
But the second time you gonna get
If
your phone and stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
That is.
And washing them dishes.
No.
Now I might not wash your dishes, but I'm telling you, your clothes gonna get
We
cold.
gotta learn. We
But I
gotta
ain't
learn.
gonna say
We gotta
the same. I ain't
learn.
gonna say-
Yeah,
And see, my kids say OCD.
You do,
see,
you do got some OCD in you.
Right.
I believe that.
And
But
so
you
I
gotta
think
leave
that's
them stuff alone.
because see, sometimes I have to sit on my
Yeah, sit on your hands.
right. I
Sit
don't
on- Sit on your hands. I'm
Listen.
telling you. Because then them jokers be looking for you to do that.
look, because I'm
No,
mentioning it to you.
it
I'm a mention. I'm saying, so why the clothes?
Yeah.
So then in his mind,
Yes,
hopefully
ma'am.
he'll say the next time I wipe. I mean,
And then the next time you come over there, sit on your hands.
Maybe
and don't
he'll
you
say
fold
the
not a neck.
maybe he'll say, I know the next time that she's on the way,
I'm a fold of
he
these
let me
clothes.
put these clothes.
You're right. At least put them in the closet.
Right.
So lady can't
Lady
see
can't
them.
see him.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Something.
So
That is
now I'm training you to understand how I
it.
operate.
I have a OCD a little bit.
A little bit. Exactly.
A lot of it,
exactly.
but okay.
Right.
So this is the last one for self-reflection,
Okay.
and it's gaining clarity, gaining closure on that last relationship.
Oh.
How do we gain closure? How do we get clarity? And both parties have to be, actually in agreement to that.
We ain't agreeing.
No.
Okay.
Okay, now, okay.
Now, once
So
it's
now
over-
if you don't, that come the spiritual connection come back, with God. Like that's something that you pray about, something that you like you said, journaling, like you said, writing, and speaking to a therapist or however you can get closure your way.
Mhm.
But when there's a soul tie, and there's a difference. I don't know if y'all know the soul ties when you have a major connection with a person.
Yes.
Where you can feel a person and that person on the other side of this other town, no, literally. I don't know if you've
Right.
ever been in a situation like that, but there's a difference to where, like, why do I keep thinking about this person?
Wow.
I'm not even stunned about this person, but I keep thinking about this person. This person is deep down in my soul. Like, why am I dreaming about this person? No, I'm being honest.
So
I'm being real.
let's go back to no. I
No,
want to go
no,
back to
it's
the
serious,
closure part.
right.
The closure part when
That's
you
what I
said
was
both
gonna ask.
parties have to agree. I want to kind of stay on that piece of it when you say both people have to agree to what extent? What are we referring to?
The last conversation of closure, or we're good with each other. We know that this relationship is not gonna work. You good with moving forward with who you gonna move forward with. We good, like we tried. It shouldn't be no type of. I was talking with a girlfriend the other day. She was like, why would anybody block anybody if we're good? If we know that there's no
Bad blood.
Bad
That's
blood.
right. And in that
Like-
space, then why would you? But that's a different type of conversation because I see no need to block a person if you guys are good. But how many times do we go through divorces and we call it unreconcilable
Very
differences?
true.
So there are often times that you both just not going to agree to the breakup.
But what about this? What about if you have someone, whoever you were dealing with, is not good at communicating, right? So they're not ready to have that type of conversation with you, but
Right.
you know the relationship is over,
right.
right? Can you move on without that closure?
Mm-mm.
You can't move
No,
on?
I was talking to
Right.
the engineer.
Somebody calling in.
Right, and so if they wanna call in, they have to call 404-249-5092.
So guys, if you wanna
This
call
phone, not
in,
them phones.
Right, please, right.
What's the number for?
404-249-5092.
We also have some comments.
Okay, let's get the comments.
From someone said a girlfriend becomes a wife by providing that she can be her, and then somebody else said we have to stop giving CPR to dead situations.
Yeah, woo, love it, love it.
yes.
Anything on our Facebook side, Facebook, don't let IG outdo us now. Y'all know y'all got to dip in now. You can probably scroll up and see if they got anything out there.
We got, I agree with Amanda. I absolutely have stayed too long thinking I could get my person back when actually it was just a reflection of my person instead of my actual person.
Gotcha. And I think the blocking come from just to go into the next one. I think the blocking come from setting boundaries. When we move on, depending on how deeply rooted your feelings are for that individual, you gotta set boundaries. And if you don't set boundaries, this is Amanda. This doesn't make it golden. It don't make it the rule. It don't make it the gospel.
It's law.
I think when we are so into a person and in love with the person and the breakup occurred and it wasn't amicable, I think as women, and I don't know, men may do it too, and guys put it in the chat. I think when you leave room for them to contact you, you're hoping that something is going to happen.
No,
You're
not
what,
me.
and I'm not saying you, I'm saying people in general.
Yeah.
When you can't solely
Very true.
move on, I think when you don't block from their social media, take them off your social media, you take them off of yours. When you delete your text threads, when you delete their phone numbers completely, you're now starting a healing process of erasing all the memories.
Wow.
And if you don't do that, it's very hard to go back and start going through the threads and remembering and then rehashing all the thoughts. And now I want to call just to say I'm reaching out.
So let me ask you this, so when you say the removing all, I guess, all traces, that's a part of the healing journey,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. That's part of that
It-
healing journey.
Especially to me, if you were not adult enough to have that conversation with me, there hasn't been any closure. And depending on how I feel about you, if you know that's your twin flame and you had this soul connection with this person.
I'm just speaking in general.
No,
I'm saying
those
general
things
too.
are
Because
important.
people, yeah.
And we're
Because if you do have that soul tie, you may have to, if I
erase
know
everything.
I have a weak spot for you in my heart, I
Right.
may have to
Wipe
take
everything
you. That's
clean.
right. I
Right.
have to move on with a clean slate, or I
And-
can't
and-
move on.
Right, and
Because if
that's,
you reach out, then here I go.
Here I go back up,
Hey.
cause you already said that's my
Right.
weakness, that's my soul tie.
That's
the
right.
person that I love, that's
Right.
the person I really feel
Mhm.
like I should be with. So I left that door open, like we mentioned with that light on,
Mhm.
door cracked a little, for you to reach out because I didn't erase nothing. I still gave you
That's right.
access to me.
To me.
please call in, please call in.
Right.
Please.
We have some comments.
Okay, let's get our comments.
Someone said, does that keep you attached, soul ties, or can you have soul ties and be friends? Question mark.
Whoa, that's a good one.
I mean,
I think it depends on how strong you are as a person. Only you know you.
right.
And if you know that you're that weak person, I don't think that you can. I mean, I know I can't. I mean, and somebody in the engineer room
Come
saying that,
on,
no.
come on, we need a
But I
man.
mean, I
We need
know
a man.
I can't. I think it depends on how strong you are as a person. I know if you're my weakness, I don't want to do that because I want to move on. We're on a healing journey
Right.
for a reason.
I wanna know that we're okay. I do, me personally. Yeah.
Let
You
us
have to be
good.
okay.
I'm good with going on about my life, but I wanna know that we're okay. And there's no need to be mad at each other.
But you can be okay and not mad.
I
That's
got
the difference. Go
I got
ahead.
another one.
Okay.
What's the purpose of keeping an ex around
Ooh.
social media friends if you have moved on?
That's
You don't,
absolutely.
but you don't keep them around. It's gonna wear off regardless. You gonna go about your business and he gonna go about his
It
business.
may wear out for you. But what if it don't wear off
Yeah, because you
him?
still communicating with them on social media, they feel like the door's still open.
That's
Well,
I think that's that
Like your
misleading.
Like your pictures come in.
That-
Right, I think
And I
that's that
get that.
misleading person.
Yeah,
I mean, oh,
nah.
wow. No,
Like
I
Coco
don't know.
saying that song, soon as you like one of my pics,
I know what that
There
not,
you
and that
go.
my
there
jam.
we go.
That's
Here we-
it.
there we
That's
go.
true.
That's
It's
true.
Soon
that's
as
your
you
weakness.
like
What
that,
makes you-
my
I don't,
picture, I know what.
I don't agree with that.
Here
I
we
don't
go.
agree with that.
Cause that's what I say. Anybody that I know
Mhm.
that I've been involved with, and I know one person in particular, anytime you get to liking them pictures, that be me. Okay, here we go. Because
Hey.
I already know what it
Right.
is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But
Look for a phone call next.
absolutely. But I don't entertain it.
That part.
That's why I
Right,
said,
right.
but it depends on again how
Depends on
strong you are.
That's true.
Because if you're not strong enough not to engage in it, and you gotta know you.
That's
You
right.
can't play with yourself to know that you're not strong enough to omit their phone calls, to not pick up, to ignore the calls. I mean, we're gonna keep it all the way 100.
That's right.
If you are that weak person, why would you not erase all of it?
That's right, but not
hard thing to do,
necessarily,
though.
not
It's hard.
necessarily
It's
a
hard.
weak person.
It's
but-
hard just to erase like memories of a person, and you can block them all day. But if y'all got a connection, like you say you got
Right.
a connection with, you might be brushing your teeth in. You know,
Well, no, I'm
It
not
may
saying
remind you of
no,
that.
no. I'm
Right.
not saying that you gonna, because you do that, it erase the memories. But what I am saying, it allows you a time to reflect totally on you in a space where they're not constantly contacting you and igniting that flame where you can't start the healing journey.
Okay,
Got
ladies.
two more.
Hold on, let's
Okay.
get the comments.
One from Renee Anderson, great dialogue, ladies. Self-care and self-preservation is important. And Shonda Lou, leaving that door open will always allow room for no closure. Just
That's
stay in a
right.
relationship.
That's right, Renee and Shonda, that's
Okay.
right.
Renee.
And I agree with you. You have to be strong. You have to be a strong. Both parties have to be strong because I've done it before.
Right.
Like I don't talk to.
Okay. I wanna keep
Three
it
or
real.
four-
Let's
three-
just
three,
keep it
four
100.
Oh.
Let's just keep it 100. Don't try to leave out here. Don't try to leave out here.
But
Wait.
go ahead.
Don't try to leave out here.
They're right.
Because we're gonna get a good example. Okay.
Don't be sitting there.
So I'm not gonna do that. I'm not
Okay.
gonna, but I do know for a fact, when you love somebody, and especially when you love a person and y'all been together for years,
That's right.
have been through things together, good and bad, when you've given your all to that person, when you know you've got done your 110%, when you have kids with a person and you feel like that's your soulmate, when you've even went through the fact about women trying to kill you and you still stay down with this person
Right.
and loving this person the whole way through, once that person decides that they're ready to walk away, it don't matter to me at that point if we're good or not. Because at the end of the day, I got to worry about me. And then once I get me totally together, then I can start a relationship with you and I being healthy. But we
That's
can't
right.
start nothing
I would
healthy
agree.
with my feelings all over the place.
That's right.
And allowing you to
I would
step
agree.
in whenever you want to step in
I would agree.
because I brought no closure.
That's right.
Now me and this person, my daughter even said it. She said the other day, she said, I think you and Zay Dad are best friends. And I cannot say that we're best friends, but I can say that he's one of the people I know are truly a good friend outside of him being Zay's father.
Right.
Because I knew I had to close some doors, close some chapters, hear me first, and then build a relationship around
And you're
us.
right. That
And it's
is
very
right.
healthy.
I would
It
agree.
is. That
And
is-
I think
That's
that,
why I don't agree with that, leaving anything open.
that's right.
Social
right.
media, anything. You gotta
That's
cut
right.
it complete lie. You gotta get yourself together.
That's right.
And moving on to someone else, why should that man or that woman have to be your therapist.
That's,
They shouldn't have to take on that baggage.
You talking about a new relationship?
Yeah, they shouldn't have to take that
Yeah.
on. You need to
Yes.
heal yourself before you take that on.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Man
I
and
agree.
female.
I
Yeah.
agree.
And I think the biggest piece of self-reflection is being honest with
With,
you.
and that
Right.
person.
Yes.
But I ain't got to be honest with you, cause I
I'm
don't
talking about a
owe.
new person.
Oh, okay, cause I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
say,
yeah,
I don't owe you nothing anymore
that new
after I wash
person.
my
Oh,
hands.
But I
Yeah.
think it's definitely important for you to be honest with yourself. So
Mhm.
looking in the mirror and saying, hey, whatever I did incorrectly, let that man upstairs help me correct that piece.
That's right.
But if I know I'm not strong enough, to your point,
Mhm.
to move on and still have this door open, hey, I need to be strong enough to close these doors, heal me first, and then maybe we can come back and have a conversation and we can be
Right.
okay.
Right.
But it may not be okay in that moment.
I agree.
Wow.
I agree.
Because if I'm connected to you like what you're talking about, and you can feel somebody
From a
from out of
first,
time.
No. I'm basically, listen, you got people out here that be in relationship. That's just like two couples being married for 40, 50 years. And they grow old with each other. The connection. Either way, whether y'all together or not. You know what I'm saying? I know I don't know what y'all been through,
Right.
but I know it's been that person.
Oh yeah.
You done had that person
Oh,
where
yeah.
you just
he said
wanna-
right now. That's why he can agree to what I'm talking about.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's why he can agree to it.
Right.
Because me and Tansy went through some stuff.
Yes.
Right.
But I had to get there first
Right.
for us to be in
Where
this
y'all at,
space where we are today. And that wasn't in the moment. That wasn't in the moment.
Right.
You
right.
gotta take the time out for you.
And I think that's growth for not just you, it's been growth for him as well.
Yeah.
What we got in the comments?
But it's true though.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ty said this is just Ty speaking, but in my experiences, I've learned along the way how necessary it is to cut off dead limbs to save the tree.
To save the tree.
Save the tree.
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
love it. What we got on the other side, anybody?
It's back, someone Juice _ West Side, I guess they back to letting everything go. If I was that type of weak, yes, so I'm pulling the injection.
Right, he got right. He said if you that
Right,
type of
Jules.
week, you got to pull it. That's
got
right.
Right.
What else we got out there?
We got keeping receipts also helps you not to go back, so don't delete texts.
Oh, okay, yeah. I heard that before.
Okay,
I got
okay.
the receipts.
Screenshot them. Right. Delete the text, but screenshot. Keep your receipts.
Reach.
Oh,
Yeah.
What else we got out there?
That's
That's
it right
it.
now.
Okay.
Anything coming up on the thing? On Facebook? Any?
We just did Facebook.
Okay. What we
Well,
got?
just share it then.
You the second one, what's the second?
That was that, and then that
We
was
go
it,
dead, ain't
since
gonna be
it went
able to
into hers about establishing boundaries and
Okay.
blocking the social media,
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
just
'cause
fitted
you block,
into
yeah.
it, so I was just like,
But I
We
think
might as
I
well.
feel like some people have to do certain things. Like some people can watch that person on social media. and
That's
not feel the type of way.
right.
But some people have to completely like.
That's right. So you have to know
Push
you.
you
that's why we were
that's
saying, you
for
gotta
me-
know you.
For me, I know like I can say I've never really had a relationship that ended on good terms. It was never amicable. Like
Mhm.
it was like, okay, we just gonna still be friends, or we gonna just leave the romance out. It's always been some type of situation, a fallout, and then boom. And I know like for one person, it was a major fallout. For me, it took me maybe 4 years to
Wow.
even accept her apology. You know what I'm saying?
Did you still follow them on social media?
No,
See?
no,
Cause you had to get
I didn't
there.
block her though.
Okay, that's fine.
Cause from time to time, I just needed to go back and see that shit that she chose was just not it. You feel what I'm saying?
right.
But that helped me,
That
right?
helped
Okay, you know what I'm
You
saying?
heal. Help you
Right,
heal.
but
You heal.
but like no, I was not her friend. I didn't keep up with her like
Right.
that. I wasn't texting on birthdays and holidays and
That's right.
nothing.
Mhm.
But like now, and I'm not saying we like the best of friends, you know, but I know now there's no issue. There's
That's
no
right,
problem.
that's
So
right.
if we wanted to become friends on social media, we could.
At this
If I
point.
like the picture or she like the picture, my heart not in shambles. Oh, I'm not over here with
Right,
butterflies. Like, oh my God.
But
you
it
know.
took you 4 years to get to that point.
It did, but we had like it was.
I mean, I agree. So it
fighting.
depends on what the
That's
relationship
what we're saying.
is.
If it's just a
Right.
relationship that you guys liked each other y'all, I mean, but if it's something where you're talking about, we were in love, we had years,
That's right.
and to her point, soul ties, I just can't see leaving a door open to have access to you and you have access to them, because I do believe that's your weakness. And when you have a weakness for a person, you pretty much have an addiction for them. And with that, you do.
That is true.
And with that
That's
being
true.
stated, how do you? That's just like taking a junkie, putting them on Martin Luther King or Fulton Industrial,
dropping them off.
and dropping them off,
Right.
knowing the dope trap right there.
That's right.
How do you expect that person to survive?
I
No,
agree.
you gotta make sure that you're not even in the environment of your addiction in order to heal. You just do.
I would agree.
What you got?
So my piece for healing was making sure that you focus on you, focusing on self-care and what does that look like for each individual. So, and I'm not talking about the basics, right? So sometimes we get into exercise and hobbies. Those things are important too, but I think the biggest thing is making sure that you prioritize you, your physical, your mental, your emotional well-being, because then you're no good for whoever comes next. You're closed off with everything that has to do with those things, and those are the biggest things that drive a relationship. So making sure that you prioritize you, and whatever that looks like, making sure that you are pouring into your mental, your physical, your
Right,
emotional
that, I agree
piece.
with that.
You have to, whether that's affirmations for you in the morning,
Right, exercising.
meditation,
Right.
whatever that looks like, you have to engage in things that nourish you.
Right, because you can actually lose yourself.
Oh, yes.
You can really lose yourself, and then another thing, you got some people will break up and they will actually get sick, like literally get sick, and that's self-care. You have to basically come back around and say, wait a minute, you got to stop and say, now I got to start eating right, taking my vitamins, exercising, having like you said, affirmations, praying, just trying to make sure you're in that space that you won't get unhealthy, because you will
Because you can't.
high blood pressure.
And with that being said, I'm gonna
diabetes.
go back to that establishing
Right.
boundaries. Because
Right.
no, I'm saying, if you're in love with that person that
That-
you literally,
right.
your mental will allow you to go seek, because
Right.
I'm not eating, I'm not being
Yeah,
healthy,
right.
I'm not taking
You're right.
self-care of myself. Why would you leave a door open
for that.
for somebody to ignite that right back up for you? To me, that means you love that person more than you love you.
Yourself.
Well, that all depends on the
Wow.
person again. Let's talk about that, because if somebody's getting sick, now of course I'm pretty sure that they done blocked this person. I'm
But
pretty
that's what
sure.
we're talking about,
Yeah,
depending
but
on,
they
that's
don't.
what we said.
Yeah.
Depending on how strong you are is the
Depends.
only means.
That's
Cause
right.
I know you said your girlfriend said, why would you block a person if y'all good? That's true. If y'all good, then why would you? That means
Right.
there's no
You got some
need.
people,
Right.
yeah.
But I don't even see that people do that when you, I don't. When you're amicable and you just walk away, cause if it's amicable, that means nobody's mad.
That's
Right.
right.
That's right. I mean, let's just talk. Let's just talk with intelligence. That's right. Nobody's mad and
right.
nobody's hurt.
Right.
So there will be no need.
Or that means that the
That's
relationship
right.
didn't really mean anything
To either
To
one
either
of
person,
them.
and
So,
you can just
yeah,
walk away
yeah.
But
without
that,
it.
what you saying is that goes back to what one of the commenters said, losing yourself in a person.
That's right.
If you
Right.
not with somebody and you can't eat, that's a problem.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
If
an
you
issue.
not with
Issue.
somebody and you can't get up and go to work,
That's
That's
Right,
an
that's an
issue.
issue.
That's
But
right.
Some people
ain't
are
an issue, that's a problem.
That's right.
That's
That's
an
an
unhealthy problem.
And that's why
some
in
people
love,
do it. Some
That's
people
what you
are
said,
like
like in love you do have to have boundaries. Like I'ma love you and love on you how you wanna be loved, but at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be first for me.
That's
That's
right.
right.
I gotta love me first.
I have to
Right.
love me
But
first.
when you get to where you seek and all that,
Yeah.
Right, we talking
You need to
about
go
it.
get
That was
counseling.
your,
Right.
right. That's unhealthy.
And I guarantee you, when you go to that counselor, like Melo just said, you're gonna need some counseling, and that counselor is going to tell you to cut off all connection
Yes,
with
That's
that
right,
person.
absolutely.
Because people go
Absolutely.
through depression.
Absolutely.
With certain relationships and leaving those doors open,
Mhm.
like you said, if I'm watching you on social media and whether it's true or not, because we can make social media what we want it to be.
Absolutely.
Right, but
It's
if
a
every
facade.
time you're watching it, they happy and they doing this
God
and they doing
forbid they
that,
post a
and
new
they post
person.
a new person and they hug them
You
and
about
kiss
halfway
them.
on the building
You know?
when you jump. I'm like, for real. Y'all laughing. I'm
So that's what I'm
serious.
saying. So sometimes it's important, depending on where you are,
Mhm.
to close those, because if you don't, until you heal,
Mhm.
you're ready to jump off the roof.
Absolutely.
They ready to jump out the roof.
Or whomever, right? But I think that goes to my second point, giving yourself time to grieve, whatever that looks like. You can be mad, you can be angry, you can be
It's a
upset.
stage. I love it.
Right,
It's
you
a
can be
stage.
sad, you can be confused, you may not know why it ended. You may have thought y'all were on the best of terms, and then all of a sudden, we need to talk.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You get one of those text messages and you don't know where it's coming from. So you may be confused, but you have to give yourself time to go through all of those processes. We have some comments.
Ty said right, that's unhealthy love, and then someone also said you can't love someone more than you love yourself.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God. No, you
Anything
don't.
else out there?
Somebody said looking good, babes.
Well, who are they? Cause it's 3.
That's why Tisha, she probably talking about you.
Hey, my friend. Hey, sis. Love
Loc
you.
Dog said I'm pretty much good with all my exes.
Okay, please explain. Call in. Please call in.
Who said that?
Lock Dog.
Lock dog.
Lock
Please
dog.
call
But let me tell you,
404-249-5092.
why.
Lock dog.
Probably. Let me tell you probably. And I don't know. I mean, I'm just gonna speak, but call in.
Please.
I think men can walk away from a relationship, be good with their exes when they are great communicators.
Hey.
When you can keep, because we always say keep it real, but I think keeping it real, we don't do that oftentimes. Meaning, we don't communicate to
Right.
say, hey, here's where I am in this relationship right now. It is check-in time.
Right.
Here's where I am in the relationship at this stage. Here's where I am at the relationship with this at this
Right.
stage.
Right.
And if I've come to a point where now I need to pivot and do something different, where this ain't working for me, I think when you can allow and say that to a person and be honest,
You
and
can't
that's
walk
me.
away.
That's me. I can respect any relationship that I was in that said, this not working for me.
But what about when they say on Monday, this not working for me? Tuesday morning, good morning, babe, I love you.
But you can't change it. You can't keep changing
Wednesday-
your mind on me.
Wednesday,
Right.
Wednesday,
Right.
oh, good morning, everything is good. Thursday, this ain't working for me.
Everybody got a little
Friday,
bit of
this ain't You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you
like what do you do when you
Okay.
deal with a situation like that?
Mm-mm.
Because you talking about communicating, because sometimes when a person tell you this ain't working for me, that's really how they feel.
That's
right.
But then when they see that you feel a different type of way, you like, no, it was working. I just know we have to keep working at it.
That's
then they
right.
go to the next phase. Well, okay, babe, I love you too. We gonna keep going.
Depending on how that was trending, if that's your MO, then no. I can't allow you to keep like you said, keep riding that roller coaster. I told Zoe this is on truth cameras. This is on truth. Where I am in my life and all the things that I've learned, and to your point of learning things along the way from different relationships, do I have it all together? No, I do not. Do I have it perfect? No, I do not. But what I do have is what I know what I want. I know what I'm not going to tolerate. I know what I'm going to verbalize to you that I need, and I'm going to give you the blueprint.
There you go.
If I have to start over every month
And give you the blueprint all over again.
and start with somebody
I know they
new,
do it.
I will cut you off and start over new.
No.
I am not going to waste. God, and here's why I say that,
I agree.
guys. And we're going to talk unapologetically real serious here. I tell Joe this all the time, and I think all of us has experienced it. If you ever lost somebody close and dear to you, you know that life can change in a heartbeat. And when you've experienced that somebody in your life can be taken away from you at a blink of an eye, you live life differently.
Yes, God.
There's no way
That is very true.
that I'm going to waste time with you trying to figure out what you need and what you want at this stage in my life. Now, if I was 17 like my daughter, that'd be a
That's
difference.
different. Right.
But at my age and at an age of a person that I'm dating, if you don't know what you want, and in a couple of months, you don't know that you want me,
A couple of months.
and I give you 3 months because again, we got to date to know each other.
That's right.
I don't want that. I'm not gonna live in a fantasy
That's right.
world where I'm expecting them people to blink their eye and just know they want me
I just
overnight.
love you.
Right.
Right.
But 90
But I'm
days is
I'm
long enough.
In my opinion.
To know if to at least, I think 90 days is long enough to know if I seriously want to date you.
because that's right.
Not if I want to marry you.
That's right.
But if I seriously want
To
to
date you.
dedicate some time to just you.
And if you
It'll
cannot
take
figure
you all
that
day
out,
to figure it
yeah,
out.
and if you can't figure that out with me, I'm
Leave me
moving
alone.
on. I'm moving on. I gave too many years to relationships that was not fruitful.
Right.
And I would tell you, God ain't promised us
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Mm-mm.
We,
Oh, never.
you know, he ain't promised us tomorrow, he ain't promised us next week. So like Ty said, cut them dead limbs to save the tree. So I'm always cutting dead limbs to save me.
All right.
I want to talk about them, that blueprint. That blueprint you give them.
Okay, let's get some of these comments and we're gonna talk about that blueprint.
Sharissa Walker said, when you keep it 100 with women, you can have a relationship with them after.
And I disagree.
Okay, we got some disagreements. Go
That's
ahead,
right.
and that's all right.
In the words of the late great Maya Angelou, never make someone a priority when all you are is an option.
Woo!
And that's real.
That's
And you're not
right.
gonna have me as an option and I make it
Option.
Come
priority.
on.
Mm-mm.
Come on.
What else we got out there?
You got somebody said that's not true, Doug. And then Dub said I'm friends with all of my exes. I have no reason not to. We did not end on bad terms. But that speaks to what you said again. When it's amicable,
That's right.
You could.
You can
when,
do
when
it.
it's when it's a
Right.
big fallout, I don't.
Yeah,
Bye.
that's
That's
right.
right.
That's right.
That's right. Or when you've been deeply hurt.
Mm-hmm. And
I
scarred.
don't, right. If I'm giving my 110%
Yeah, you're
and
right.
you gave me 50,
Mm.
ain't no way in the world we get ready to have no conversation and we just cool.
Right.
No, we
So I
not
got a
doing
question. So what happens when you in this relationship, you giving this person 110% from the beginning,
that.
right? And from the beginning they've given you 40-50. But you know that they kind of been going through some things, so you kind of giving them a little
Grace.
grace.
Mm-hmm.
But then after a year or two, they still doing the same old thing.
No.
And they asking you for 100%, but now your percentage just went down to 30-40.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that a relationship where you feel like, okay, it needs something, like it needs a reconnection, or if it just need to go on and
Great question, but I think sometimes it can be a reconnection, but it has to have a serious conversation where we need to be honest with each other to say, now listen, I've been giving you 110% since day one. And I've accepted your 50% because I know what you're going through. But if we're gonna move forward, you need to be able to verbalize how we need for this to go. I need to be able to verbalize to you what I need from you. Now, if we go into agreement with that, 6 months down the line, if you start back giving your 40%, I'm sorry.
But
And then, go ahead.
But then also you gotta ask yourself, what does 50% look like?
That's what I was
Very
just
true.
about to say.
Very true.
That's
What
exactly,
does
you took it out of
50%
my
That's
mouth.
looks
right.
like
And
to
I think that
person.
looks
That's right.
different for
Yeah,
every
everybody.
relationship.
That's right,
Yeah.
but you have to have that conversation though, so
Mhm.
communication is gonna be
I
important
agree.
in
I
order for you
agree.
to do that.
I agree. In order to somebody told me, and it's funny that you bring that up, they said that's when they think relationships can take a turn. And it's funny that you say that, cause I had that conversation with somebody the other day, and they said they think that that's what happens a lot of times when you put numbers on relationships. What are you measuring the relationship for at a point of the 50, the 80, the 20, the 70? What does that look like, and why is that a factor? Why is that?
Yes.
Come on in the room.
Get in the room.
105.7 The Phase, this Zoe, what you got?
100%.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, Jesus Christ didn't have 2 years worth of 45% for nobody.
Right.
Okay.
Like at the end of the day, whether it's 45% or 50%, no matter what level that 45 or 50% is, it's just not enough.
Woo.
You're giving someone everything that you have. You're giving them 110% of you, and they're giving you half of them, regardless of their emotional, mental, and spiritual state.
Mhm.
It's just not enough because you're overexerting yourself to carry someone who's not
That's right.
doing you enough to carry their own weight.
And what does that measuring stick looks like though, Vince? Let me ask you that because I know I was just telling them that a person was saying to me that they think that's where a lot of relationships go wrong because we measure what percentage a person is giving. But I think like Zoe said, you have to talk about those things and do your check-ins on whatever your measuring stick is for your percentage. But why do you even think that that's a what is the 100%? What is the 10%? What is the 40%? To your
Right.
point, Mello, what does that even look like?
I mean, I feel
You're
like
not, if someone is giving you not enough for you to be satisfied, and that's less than 100% to you.
There you
Okay.
go. That's right. Even if you take,
Somebody is giving you enough for you not to be satisfied.
Gotcha.
Whatever they was giving, the young lady, it wasn't enough for her to be satisfied when she knows she's, doing her part and then some. Obviously, she wasn't satisfied with the 45 or 50% that she was receiving.
that's right.
So again, if she's not satisfied with the output of the person, then it's just not enough. I don't care if it's 80%. It's just not enough for her to feel comfortable enough to say, you know what, we're moving forward, in this relationship, and we're both at a comfortable space. He's comfortable because she gives 100%. She's not comfortable because he's giving less than 100%.
Tell him, Mr. Robinson.
Let me ask you this. Do you think, because I believe that different stages requires different percentages at certain times. And I think, meaning, so I may not be at my best all the time, and we don't as individuals. And so where I may lack in that space sometimes for my partner, I think to Zoe's point, then that's when you need to have a conversation with me to say, hey babe, is everything all right? Let's do our check-ins, let's have a conversation instead of letting it fester. And then once we do that, once we get mad, then we bring it up as opposed to addressing it then. I don't think we give 100% in a relationship. Now, this is just me, don't make them right with Amanda. I don't think we give 100% throughout the duration of the relationship consistently
No.
all the time. I think
I
there's
agree.
room to
I agree with you on that. And one of the comments that I posted is, it's tough, it's tough when both people are not dealing in an open and honest, communicative
There
way.
you go.
That's
Mhm.
So I
exactly
don't want
true.
to have to figure out if I'm dealing with the real you or your representative.
Yes.
You better say that.
I shouldn't have to figure that out
Decipher that.
each and every day on who I'm dealing with.
Right.
If you can't, if we're in a relationship, I need to be the person that you can come talk to about any and everything.
Yes.
No matter how messed up it is, good, bad, right, wrong, and different. I need to be your sounding board because that's how we grow.
right.
How you build trust with somebody.
I
The
agree.
more I tell you in private, the more I learn to trust you.
Right.
I don't
Absolutely.
feel like I can come talk to you about my personal things,
Something
and
wrong, something wrong.
I gotta go to the homie and talk to him about that, and you my lady, and I can't talk to you about it, then, the homie, I'm trusting the homie more than I'm trusting the person that I'm looking to spend the rest of my life with, and that ain't gonna work.
That's
Right. Well, we certainly, and you got something for me?
I got something for you, Vince. This goes back to what Amanda said about a time limit. Do you think 3 months is a good enough time for a man or a woman to know if they want to be in a committed relationship?
Listen, men know if they wanna be with you, how I met you.
Yeah.
don't take a man those 3 months to figure it out.
Woo!
See, and I gave, and look, and I gave it 3 months.
That's right.
And
D-Man
then-
said,
then-
now,
Miss
hold on,
Steve Harvey told y'all a long time
Hold
ago.
on,
That was one of my comments, you know, that's something that I posted. It's a man, you know now, there may be some things that happen later on, where you may come into, you know, you may hit a little roadblock, but you know who you want to be with. You know if you're looking for long term with this person, or you know if you just playing your game to get what you want so you can, you know, you can smash and grab.
Wow.
And then Vincent, let me ask you.
Don't take a man a long time to figure out if he gonna be serious with you, or if you just something to do until he can figure out what he gonna do with the other 4 girls you with.
all right.
Let me ask you this to your point. So, if 3 months in your opinion, it doesn't take that long, and you can make those decisions prior to. I do believe that men can make that connection and decide very early on. But I also believe that you have to, in that time span, date that person consistently. Because if you don't, what are you basing that on? I mean, because I can look at you, I can talk to you, I can have that physical attraction to you, but what am I basing that on if I'm not dating, spending time with you? And I think that if you make that decision because we've been intimate, you're basing it on the feelings of you. Now you've gotten involved with the sexual connection.
Right.
But I think
No, I'm not even talking about on an intimate level.
Okay. So how do you think that person? Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'm talking about on the mental level, the emotional level, and the spiritual level. I'm not even talking about on the instant level. Because for men, the man, like when a man really wants a woman, he has no issue with waiting. And women, you can tell how much a man really wants to be with you by how he treats you. Things he do.
There you go.
Like like you can tell by how he treats you. If he pressing you to get into the bedroom, you know it ain't. Listen, he looking to smash and grab. But if that don't come up and y'all having communication about the mental part of you, like he wants to know the mental part of you. He wants to know the emotional part of you. He wants to know the spiritual part of you. That's somebody that's looking to learn you. He's looking to learn everything about you when he asking you about your past relationships. You know, what happened in your past relationships. He ain't looking to be nosy. He's looking to learn what to do and what not to do.
That's right.
So he don't repeat those mistakes that the other guys made. So again, when a man wants you, you gonna know what he gonna do things that you're not gonna have to ask any questions about.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Well, I certainly appreciate you calling, and I certainly agree with those things. And we always
We appreciate
thank you for your
Yes.
support, and thank you for calling in. Have an amazing night.
Okay, I appreciate y'all.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
What comments we got out there? Because I think we kind of missed Vincent's comment because he said he had put something in the chat. Is there anything that we need to go back and probably scroll up and see from others?
No, he just said, open and honest communication is so hard to get from people. I don't have time to figure it out if I'm talking to them or the representative. Men know in less than an hour if they want to date you seriously or play games until they get what they want. Ain't enough grace in the world to deal with 45% for 2 years. Jesus doesn't have that much grace for anyone.
That's right.
And then on the other side, we have that year or two is giving CPR to a dead situation.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, IMHO. What that mean? IMHO.
Do any of the do the 17-year-old, do the intern in the building know?
IMHO.
Ty, we're gonna need you to abbreviate or
Tell us
expand it.
Right.
Dub said, when we allow grace, we are given a gift that they did not deserve. So it's up to us to make sure that they are deserving of the grace from the start. Communication is a must. In my honest opinion.
In my honest opinion, thank
Girl,
you.
you could have said that. You must got teenage kids.
Everybody
You know
his
what?
opinion.
Right,
Like, girl,
right,
you
right.
could just say that.
But yeah, I think it's, you know, relationships are so, it's so different for each individual. And as we mentioned, you know, we don't have the blueprint. Go ahead, Nella.
Jamal said Vincent is giving up too much information.
The bro code, Jamali said the bro code.
He's giving it to us, and that yes,
Right.
See, look, see, you know what I'm talking about right there.
That's right.
Jamal, go away.
He said y'all gotta give up some too.
But we have, we've done that. I think that, you know, as we mentioned, we don't have all the answers, to this thing. It's never a one size fit all. You know, and our platform is not to necessarily say that we got all the answers.
No.
Oh, definitely not.
What we bring is our experiences.
Yes.
We bring, what we like to do is be different from our platforms, because there's a lot of platforms that everybody think they just got all the answers.
Right.
And that's not what we're here for.
not
We
here
wanna
that.
hear from you guys, your experiences, your inputs, so that someone may resonate, and that's why we have 3 different people here, because we see things differently, we've experienced things differently, where you may be able to connect with something that I've stated, Zoe may have stated, or Lava may have stated. Everything, we look at things through different lenses, and we've experienced things so totally different. And so when we put those things out there, we're hoping that we can reach somebody that is able to make that connection with, if not all of us, one of us, and follow that journey towards your healing process, or whatever it is that we're talking about. And follow us from Tuesday to Tuesday, so that if you resonate with Zoe, you may hear some consistently that Zoe may be able to feed your spirit. If same with Lava, same with me, and that's what we're here for, to try to feed your spirit, but not necessarily have all the answers. But we speak transparently, because I know a lot of times you hear all these things where people feel like their relationships are perfect. No relationship is perfect, and you'll go through some things through relationships, and through those breakups, you still have to heal. And even if it comes down to a point in time where you're just self-reflecting and taking time for you, whether it's 6 months, whether it's a year, no matter what that is, take some time for you. And it doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It just means that you may have to find that inner peace for you to grow you.
Yeah.
So that you to be the best version of you in your next relationship.
Right.
And Zoe made a great point, because I self-reflect and do something differently, doesn't mean I did nothing wrong in my last relationship, because what fits for that person didn't fit for that person. You can take some of those same characteristic traits in your next relationship and be perfectly fine.
That's right.
You have to just identify and know you as a person. If you know within your heart of heart that what you're doing is not a best version of you and healthy, like if we know that popping off at the mouth all the time, if we know that is not the best healthy way to communicate, then you know you got to self-reflect in that, because no man is gonna
Right.
go for it.
Right.
That's right.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think that each relationship that a person go through, that they're learning to be a newer them, like each relationship that you have
Yeah,
gotten out of?
Yeah, I think
You
you
learn something
think
about
you should
yourself from
grow
every
with
relationship.
every relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You should be able to grow, hopefully, without a relationship.
Everybody
But
don't know, but
Now,
yeah,
that is
you know.
true, that is
But
true.
yeah, you should.
If
be
there's
able
no
to.
growth, something wrong.
Something's wrong with that person.
And every day, you learn something new every day.
Yes.
I think
Even
those are
about
people
yourself.
that just don't want to self-reflect and take accountability.
Right.
That's what that is.
Is
Like,
that what you call narcissist? I'm so sick of that word, but yeah.
I think everybody have a little bit of
Narcissism.
narcissism in them. I mean, I do. I think that
Yeah.
people just, when you
I
know
think they
how
overuse
black
the
people
word.
learn a new
Yeah.
word,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the
Right.
mirror.
Like the mirror.
Yeah, and we run with it. We do. We
Don't
learn-
even know
we
the
learn
real
certain
definition.
stuff and
We
we
don't
run
know
with it.
anything,
Right.
we gonna use it.
Right, and everybody that do something in a manner in which we don't like, we deem them as being narcissists.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, so I just think there are people who are, don't get me wrong, definitely, that there are narcissists out there, there are manipulators. I think what we have to do is for ourselves is understand who we are, be strong within ourselves, self-reflect, as you mentioned, set boundaries, spend time with yourself so that you know, and stay busy. I think one of the things we miss in that
That was one of
healing
mine.
journey.
Yes.
With those habits, you know what I mean? When we talk about looking at hobbies, things like that, keep yourself busy, because an idle mind is the devil's playground.
Absolutely.
All the time. That's when you're gonna start reminiscing and thinking about what
Going
you
back through
should
them
have
texts, going back through them
text messages and all them pictures y'all done took.
It's the
No.
Facebook memories.
It
for
is.
real.
That's why you have to
Like
block
the
them, 'cause if
timeline.
not, your
No, no, no.
timeline gonna show it.
Yeah, they pop them up. They pop up.
I wanna make sure I say this before we close. Men, women, whomever it is, be patient with you.
Mhm.
Give yourself some grace with that healing journey. And remember, everybody's healing journey looks
It
different.
does.
It's unique. So find out what works best for you and prioritize your well-being.
And I think also too, make sure with your spiritual connection, you have an outlet of people that you
Oh.
trust.
Yeah.
That you trust and you're able to talk to, cause I know, one of my girlfriends, you know, and be open, people, be open to hear the real.
That's
I know
right.
some people want people to be able to share and then people to be in the amen corner. And they do. No, if I'm right with what I'm asking, tell me.
That's right.
But if I'm wrong and in the way I'm visualizing things, tell me that too.
I would agree.
I think we need to always have people that are going to be open and honest
with
with
you.
us. So I had to explain that to one of my girlfriends, and she was like, "No, I think you're siding with them." No, I'm not siding with them only because I'm telling you the truth.
That's right.
You know, now you may not want to hear it,
That's right.
but I'm gonna love on you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
give you the real, but also too,
I'm gonna tell you when
I'm
you're
gonna
wrong.
tell you when you're wrong and I'm gonna tell you when you're right. So you gotta be open for feedback
Yeah.
and understand that you don't want friends or whomever. It ain't gotta be friends. It could be your family members, it could be your cousins, it could be your pastor. You want people that's gonna be objective.
That's right. And I think that's one thing that we've always been with each other and can say, "Oh, now you wrong. Now you shoulda, you ain't do that right." And you may not receive it in the moment, but once we sit back and we think about it, you know what, I could have
Done
done,
something
or I
different.
should have done something different, or maybe I didn't handle that correctly. But if you have a bunch of yes people in your corner,
You'll never grow
you won't grow.
and you'll never be able to see things
Right.
objectively and
That's
differently.
right.
So you gotta make sure that you have those people around you that can help you heal in a moment of, and don't, and girl, I'll call him and I'll say this and I'll do this and no, we're not doing that at this age anymore.
And
Right.
always,
Right.
and always thinking that you're right.
That's right.
Always thinking that you can't say nothing wrong. Everything you say is right.
No,
Yeah, yeah. I think, the healing journey definitely starts with self.
It
It starts
does.
with identifying who you are. And only solely focus on you. It is not about that person. And I get it. No one wants to have, break up and have enemies. I get it. And cause I'm one of those persons. Fancy be the first to tell you, I'm one of those persons too. But I do understand that I'm not trying to force anybody to have a conversation before I move on and
Right.
reflect on me. And then you and I can revisit and have a conversation when I'm whole and when I'm good. That's the only way for your healing journey is for you to solely reflect on you.
I would agree.
I agree. And I did learn something tonight, reflecting back on those boundaries. And I didn't think there should be boundaries, but some people have to have boundaries.
Yeah. You have to still be an individual in a relationship.
Yes.
Like even when you're married, like it's a union, it becomes a we thing, but you are still an individual.
That's
If
right.
you can't stand by yourself, that's like when you go out. You got your boyfriend, whatever, y'all go out. If they can't go out without you, y'all don't need to be together.
Yeah.
If you got to go every single place with
Yes.
him,
Right, that's
No, so that's what-
toxic.
with them
Yes.
boundaries is still realizing that you are an individual.
Mhm.
You know,
And
you
what-
still have other things that you want to do.
That's right.
Right.
And what I enjoyed doing before I met you, I should still be able
Right.
to do. And
Right.
if that means hanging out with my girlfriends every now and then, I should be able to still do that. You need to have your friend.
Right. You're absolutely
I need
right.
to have mine.
You're absolutely right. And speaking of toxic though,
Uh-oh.
that's the discussion for next week.
Oh.
Toxic.
Yeah.
We want to know what is to you a toxic relationship.
What
Everybody,
defines
what
it?
defines a toxic relationship?
Because people have so many meanings to that. Everybody want to say this toxic, that toxic, this toxic.
Right.
And everything ain't toxic.
And some things that you may think is toxic may not be toxic to me.
Right. So next
So
week,
tune in.
tune in next week.
Yes. Great show, ladies.
Great show.
All right.
Have an amazing day, guys. It's a lot of
Yes,
amazing
thank you
people
for
out there.
tuning
Thank
in.
you for tuning in. Have a great night.